It's the Weather Xtreme video. This is the afternoon edition for Friday, October 7th. I'm James Spann. All eyes, of course, were on Hurricane Matthew sideswiping the northeast Florida coast this morning. Alabama's drought worsens. That's a big story. Rain around here just not happening anytime soon. Let's check it out. There's the water vapor satellite view across the continent this afternoon. Nice trough passing north of us. That's pulled down some very cool air down across the western half of the nation. A very dry air mass here, and of course Matthew, not too far from Jacksonville. Another warm day. Look at those upper 80s. Tuscaloosa 90. Doesn't feel like October. These values about 10 to 12 degrees above average. But there's a cold front not far away. You can clearly see it's between Nashville and St. Louis, and it's between Little Rock and Tulsa. Ahead of the front, 80s. On the other side of the front, you've got 60s. And we will gradually cool down this weekend. In fact, the latest guidance showing a pretty good pop of cooler air by Tuesday of next week with highs in the 70s and lows in the 40s here. Around the nation, very crisp, cool air for the western and northern states. On the watch warning map, frost and freeze issues up north, parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, the Dakotas. And, of course, a lot of advisories for Matthew, hurricane warnings, flash flood watches up on the South Atlantic coast. Also a risk of a few isolated tornadoes on the Atlantic coast from Jacksonville up to Wilmington for the rest of today and tonight. And then tomorrow, no organized severe weather expected. And I promise we're showing you different maps. They just look the same. This is the expected rain for the next 7 days, showing absolutely nothing here. And really going out to 10 days, we just don't see any chance of rain as the drought conditions worsen. It's a big story here. Conserve water and be very careful with any kind of outdoor burning. Two systems on the board today. We have, of course, Matthew and Tropical Storm Nicole that's kind of out there in no man's land between Puerto Rico and Bermuda. Nicole will meander about for a few days, then finally begin to move north next week. And the latest track from the Hurricane Center has it as a tropical storm near Bermuda Wednesday morning of next week. But don't think that'll be a threat to the United States. Matthew, packing winds of 115 miles per hour, moving north-northwest at 12, just off the coast. The upper coast of Florida has been battered. There's been major beach erosion and coastal storm surge flooding from Daytona Beach up to Flagler Beach, St. Augustine, A1A. Some roads have been washed out on the immediate coast, just a bad situation there. Of course, Jacksonville catching some of the worst of it. They got a flash flood warning in effect there. Guidance, almost all the tropical models do the recurve, the loop, not a recurve, but a loop in the Atlantic, coming down toward the Bahamas. And understand it's going to be a weak tropical system, probably just a depression coming through the Bahamas next week. And if anything survives, it comes down to Cuba and maybe the Northwest Caribbean. But odds of this getting in the Gulf are pretty small. And there's the GFS ensemble. The mean of the members kind of brings it toward the Bahamas and tries to kick it back out. The latest run, the 12Z run, brings it down over Cuba and the Yucatan. But again, very few members want to get this thing in the Gulf. Here's a forecast track from the Hurricane Center. This thing maintains hurricane strength on up right near the coast of South and North Carolina. Again, hugging the coast. But if this thing does make landfall, it's not going to be a major hurricane up in the Carolinas. It'll be a Category 2 or 1. So again, our streak of no major hurricane landfalls in the United States will stay intact. It's been 4,001 days since that's happened last. That was Wilma back in 2005. And again, you can see it loops, and then it's a tropical depression Wednesday morning of next week approaching the northern Bahamas. All right, model fans, here we go. The GFS. This is the 12Z run, valid tomorrow at 1. Trough moving up into Canada. Down below that, of course, the dominant feature is Matthew, pretty close to Charleston. And for us, tomorrow will be a sunny and warm day. Should be rather breezy. Going to get a pretty tight gradient. We'll have a north wind of maybe 15 to 25 miles an hour. Kind of a breezy day. Both the NAM and the GFS are at 83. Sunday, low 80s. The sky should be sunny. These are two tropical systems, Nicole and Matthew. Monday, Matthew coming back down toward the Bahamas. Nicole drifting north up toward Bermuda. We're dry. And again, the high Monday would be around 80. And then Tuesday, The guidance drops with a high of 73. Don't know if it's going to be that cool, but high should be somewhere in the 70s, and we should start Tuesday morning in the 40s. The GFS showing 47 here. What's left of Matthew, a weak tropical depression in the Bahamas, and Nicole is just meandering around south of Bermuda. And then Wednesday, Nicole really picks up steam, and it's getting closer to Bermuda. And what's left of Matthew is on the northern coast of Cuba. And again, we're dry and pleasant. Thursday, the ghost of Matthew is down there in the northwest Caribbean, another dry day here. And this is a week from today, Friday the 14th. Again, no big trough to pull down cool air. Down below that, we're dry, highs around 80 and lows around 50. And the ghost of Matthew is sitting over the Yucatan. This is the end of the forecast period, Monday, October 17th, 588 ridge west of the state, northwest for low aloft, and we are still dry. In fact, there's a look at the rain for the next 10 days, and we are like a desert. Most of Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, nothing. Check the numbers, highs over the next 15 days, and the ensemble here showing low 80s and lows mostly in the 50s, but evidence it might be cooler than that early next week, Monday, Tuesday, and maybe on Wednesday. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes in the blog. My next video here will be Monday morning at 7 o'clock. Brian Peters, the man that looks like Colonel Sanders. We'll have the video updates here tomorrow and Sunday. And if you can't catch us this evening on the live stream of the television side, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and God bless.